What is up, everyone? It is Midwest Raider Game Update coming at you with another video for my channel. Today I have a pretty good video on just a quick update on what happened just briefly over the summer. I really don't get into that stuff. I like to just pan it out, see what happens in the end, and then get to the season, which we are coming up really close. We have a game this Sunday versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I always want to say San Diego, but the Los Angeles Chargers, and it's going to be a big one. As we all know, the AFC West is stacked beyond belief, and the Chargers are one of those stacked teams, honestly, in my opinion, that have brought in a lot of talent that will probably improve their team a little bit. So I think it might be a little tougher venture than it was last year, even though, you know, they still have Justin Herbert and all those toys, and we're going to get into that in a second. But it's going to be a tough game, and I'm hoping that our Las Vegas Raiders are going to come out ahead, which, you know, I'm always confident, but we're going to get into talk about it a little bit. And thank you so much for tuning in to Midwest Raider Game Update. If you like to hear about the game, get some previews, get some updates, things like that, tune into this channel. I just like to talk Las Vegas Raiders football, and that's what I'd like to do. So please join me, chat, throw some comments in there, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. So thank you, and let's continue into this video and just talk about the 53-man roster that we ended up coming up with. For the most part, we did maintain a pretty good core of people that were from last year, which I am super happy about, that it wasn't a complete rebuild, a reboot, dump, whatever you want to call it. I'm glad that we kept some of the core people that we had, and then we also upgraded pretty well. Of course, big names that we'll talk about in a second, but lost Rich Bisaccia, which I thought he definitely did a good job, kept that team together. Of course, I believe the team actually kept the team together as well, so I'm pretty excited that that happened. I'm kind of sad about losing a couple players. We'll get into that in a second, but overall, we did keep a pretty good team, and we picked up Josh McDaniels, and he brought in his guy Dave Ziegler to be, you know, the GM and the coach. And my feelings on Josh McDaniels is I just hope that he has improved himself since he coached for the Broncos, and I think he has. I think he's definitely had some time, kind of saw from his mistakes, and I think he's going to, you know, do us right and try to move this franchise forward. We're so close that we just needed a couple pieces, and I think this might be a piece that's going to add to that. And hopefully he can manage Derek Carr kind of like he wanted to. There was rumors way back in the day that the Patriots actually wanted a trade for Carr way back in the day and wanted to pursue Carr. So he's always wanted to work with Derek Carr, so I think this is a good match, and I think it's going to help us out. So getting into that 53-man roster, you know, definitely there's some people that I kind of wanted to get into, and the draft, of course, some key pickups, but people that we cut but then ended up making the practice squad that I'm excited about is people like Chase Grabbers. I really think he was pretty exceptional in the preseason, so I really did like him. Of course, we did bring Stidham over from the Patriots, and he looked pretty good. He definitely knows the system, and it's going to be a pretty solid backup for Derek Carr if anything ever happens. Hopefully it doesn't. Not as good as Mariota, which I am extremely sad that we lost, but it's good that he's playing, getting paid a little bit to play for the Falcons, so did lose him. Dylan Stoner was also kind of a pretty good wide receiver that I was looking at. Austin Walter was looking pretty decent as well, so I'm glad all these guys kind of got on the practice squad, so I'm kind of excited about that we maintained them, and we're going to kind of keep them around. People that we did retain is people like Kenyon Drake, which was a pretty big surprise for me. I really thought we were going to keep him, but people like Zamir White really shined. Amir Abdullah looks like he still has some tread on the tires, man. He was really looking good, and I think he's going to be pretty good coming out of the backfield, catching some passes, doing some stuff, looking like he played when he played at Nebraska. So pretty cool there. Nick Mullins was actually traded to the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm sorry, Kenyon Drake was taken by the Ravens. So they definitely found home, so good for them. Excited for them, but I'm glad they gave it a shot with the Raiders, and we were actually able to get you know, a draft pick for both of those, actually conditional pieces. I guess not Kenyon Drake, but definitely Nick Mullins, and even Tyree Gillespie, which was a kind of a surprise too, one of our cornerbacks. He also was able to pick up a conditional 2024 picks for 7th round picks for both of those players. So we did pick up some real estate for him, which was good, and a draft pick. So really big pickups that I think are definitely going to be first day noticeable improvements is, of course, Davante Adams, the Fresno State connection. Hopefully we can see if this reunion really pays off, and we'll know that from day one. Honestly, you'll really see if they're clicking or not. Right at the first game, they should be able to pick it up where they left off, correct? And hopefully they do that, and we can see some really big improvements. Davante Adams to be getting his due and being covered like he's Davante Adams. So another person is Tyree Johnson. This guy was playing #1 in the preseason. Flying out there. He has some speed. He can be kind of a replacement for Ruggs, but I don't think he has the super speed that Ruggs had, but he's pretty close. He does have some speed, and he is pretty good with his, he was returning kicks, and he might be returning punts now. So hopefully he can get us a spark and get us good field positions and things like that. Of course, we always still have our trio of threats with, now we have Davante, we still have Darren Waller, but there's been a lot of drama behind Darren Waller. Let me guys, what you guys think. He got rid of his agent and now hired, I can't think of his name right on my head, but hired Antonio's Brown old agent. And, so he's definitely looking to get paid, and hopefully that works out, because there was some drama with that. But Darren Waller's had some drama. Always says he's got little injuries and he's not practicing and things like that. Hopefully he's just ready to play game one and show everyone that he is worth whatever he's trying to get. Foster Monroe, he's always been a good a little pickup, and I do love the way he plays. Very hard ball, so that's good. Of course, we still have Josh Jacobs, Brandon Bolden, another Patriots brought over. Mac Hollins is a receiver, not a running back, but Brandon Bolden is a running back. Get those confused, but both are Patriots that came over, know the system, and are going to get implemented right away. And it'll be interesting to see how they play, because we haven't got to really see them a lot. I said Amir Abdullah, Zamir White, that draft we came in, he looked pretty impressive. I think, the way things go, Josh Jacobs could be putting on his last campaign with the Raiders, because we'll see what happens this year. But I don't think we're going to be able to afford to pay Josh Jacobs what he needs. So we'll have to see what kind of season he can put together and show the NFL where he's going to go and make his money, things like that. But a pretty good wide receiver core that we're going to have with all of those people. Noticeable defensive people here, of course, are going to be Malcolm Coons, Devon Diablo, Denzel Perryman. Of course, we still have Yasin and Trey Morig and Nate Hobbs. All those guys, Chandler Jones, Crosby, we still have a pretty good core of people. And I think Chandler Jones is going to add a different perspective compared to Ngakwe that we had last year, how the pieces fit, but it's not looking too bad. Let's talk about the matchup that we're going to have with the Chargers right now real quick. Kind of went into everything. But the Chargers defense has definitely upgraded their defense. They picked up, I want to say it's Aaron Johnson, but I'm not 100%. Two DNs, Joseph Day as well. That's going to improve them. Of course, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, that's going to improve them. They always had Joey Bosa, but Khalil Mack on the other side is going to be pretty fierce. And we're only going to be able to cover one side. So it's going to be pretty crazy. We're going to have Colton Miller, but he's not on both sides. So it's going to be tough sledding. They also have pretty good secondary with Bruce Callahan, Derwin James, and Asante Samuel. And that's pretty solid. They're going to be able to cover pretty well. And they have a pretty good trio of receivers as well with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler is, of course, their running back, but he really hurt us last year with, I believe, 2 touchdowns in that game, and it really brought him back. And we let them come back. Our defense kind of slid a little bit, and we were winning like 29-14, I want to say, or something close to that. And they came back and made it 29-29. So it was definitely a defensive slide where we let them score some points and got them back in the game. So It's going to be a crazy game, in all honesty. Justin Herbert is still the same quarterback that he was yesterday, and hopefully their coach really hasn't made solid decisions, and so hopefully he continues not to make solid decisions, but we'll have to see about that. So they also picked up really good tight end at Gerald Everett from the Seahawks, picked them up. So they're going to have a very improved offense, and with some great defensive perspective too. So we're going to need really big games from a lot of our core players, and a lot of players that we picked up to be core players, like Yasin and Chandler Jones. Also, we're still going to have Perryman. I don't know our linebackers very well, but I know we're going to have a good game from them to wrestle down Eckler, because Eckler really did put some yards on us last year. So it's going to be a really good game. I'm super excited for the start of the season. Of course, we always have crazy thoughts about this game because it is a divisional game, and it's going to go right down to the wire, because that's how usually these games go. So it's going to be a crazy game. I'm super excited. It is a Sunday afternoon game. It's going to be after 3 o'clock there. On Sunday, I believe it was a Sunday night game, but they switched it. So surprising, because they would have got some really good ratings, I think, if they would have just left it a Sunday night game. But it is a Sunday afternoon game, but I'm still excited to check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know, do you think San Diego is an improved team, or do you think they're going to be the same as they were last year? Or do you think just the improvements that we made is going to be a really good matchup? I think absolutely we can win this game, but our defense is really going to be the issue in this game. I don't think our offense is going to have too many issues. I think we can put enough together to stay competitive with the Chargers, but it's the defense that's really going to have a thought in this game. We have to contain Herbert. We have to contain Eckler. We have to be able to cover those 3 receivers I told you, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and Gerald Everett. They're going to have crazy days if we don't. So our defense is really going to have to come up with some stuff, and possible turnovers. That's what helped us last year, actually, is I believe that we had a fumble recovery. I think we had a couple interceptions. So it definitely gave us momentum to win this game, and momentum wins the game. So hopefully we can move off some of the momentum that we had with the preseason with some of the young players as they step in with the seasoned vets, and we get on this field together. And I want to say it's going to be a shaky first half, but I hope in the second half we put it all together and start turning this team out and showing what the Raiders can do this year. So thank you so much for tuning in. It has been Midwest Raider Game Update. Let me know what you think this season. What do you think of this first game matchup? And we will talk to you soon on the next game. I'll do, like I said, little previews and little updates with the games as well. Hopefully all season long, because that's what I like to do, is just talk some Raiders. All right. Talk to y'all later. Thank you.